Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So today is a super exciting day for me. If you have noticed in the background of some of my recent videos, especially last video, this box has been floating around. So if you haven't figured it out, it is a Klockwerks Windshield for the KRX. Now, full disclosure before I unbox this on camera is they reached out to me. They asked me if I would be interested in reviewing this product. And I said absolutely, with one condition. I give an honest review, whether I like it or I dislike it. And they actually agreed to it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead, let's unbox this, go over an install on it, and what I like and what I don't like on this, because I haven't seen it yet other than some pictures online. As you notice, I've taken my other one off. I have not been using it very much because, well, I just didn't care for it. So, all right, so first thing, all right, so we have a Klockwerks, we got the Shineworks. Now they did tell me they were going to send this in with it and that it would help keep the windshield in like new condition. Obviously with any of these windshields you don't want to use any harsh products. I typically use baby soap, but we're gonna give this a try. They even sent a nice microfiber towel with it. So we'll set this aside. So we have a Steel Products rubber grommet. Mounts. A lot more to this than I thought. Another mount. Some packing, the windshield. There's one more thing way down there. And ETV parts manual. So let's get this unwrapped. Okay, let's unwrap this windshield and just see if it's scratching anything. I will say that it is very well packed. So it looks like the instructions are on the inside. We have another protectant on the plastic, just like other windshields, even though it's inside a protective plastic bag. So get this out. All right, so here's the windshield. It sits like this. You can see it is not your standard windshield. It has some unique curves, and that is to flip the air up. So let me try something here. Wow, there is not, let's see if I can show you here on camera. There is not a lot of flex. You might be wondering, why am I doing that? Well, let me show you. Set this down so it doesn't get scratched. So here is the unit that I was using. And the reason I was kind of bending that one, let me show you this one. This is a concern I've had with this one. Now, it obviously isn't gonna flex, but I can honestly say I am putting less pressure on this one than I am that one. This one has done well for its intended use. So let's go ahead and get the Klockwerks installed. So now that everything's unboxed, let's go ahead and get this bad boy installed. There's a few things I want to point out before I start. First of all, I'm going to go exactly by what the instructions say to show you how easy it is. I've looked them over and it's really simple. The next thing is I want to show you how it mounts. So you have these genuine Axia mounts. So why is that important? Why do I like that? Well, I like it because it's not using a Velcro or elastic strap like other brands. This makes it very simple when you need to clean your windshield or take it on and off for servicing or to put it away for whatever reason. It's two thumb screws right here, goes on and off, and that's it. So to get started, the only tool you're gonna need for this install is a 5mm Allen wrench, and that's just to tighten down these mounts. Once you get these mounts installed, that's it. No tools needed anymore to install it. The windshield will come on and off really easy. So I'm gonna start over here on the passenger side. Now I've gone ahead and I've taken the mounts apart. Now there's one thing you wanna pay attention to after you take the mount apart. There's two sides to it. You got the side right here where your bolt head will go through. The other side right here where the nuts will be held in by the mounts. Now when I put this on there, I'm gonna have the Allen head towards the outside and I'm gonna have the bolts going towards the inside just to make it easier to get to tighten on. I'm gonna take the plastic bag like they said. I'm gonna put it around my roll cage so that you don't scratch up your roll cage. I'm gonna index this appropriately and I'm just gonna work it right around. Takes a little bit of effort, just like that. I'll twist it and I will pull the bag out. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop this in. It slides into some nice grooves. And then slide my bolt through. And I'll just hand tighten it to get it started on where I want it. And just like that. Next thing, we'll get that side installed. Now both mounts are up on the Klockwerks. They're still loose. I can still move them around because I need to set the height still. You're gonna take your windshield, you're gonna take your rubber grommet. Now, on your rubber grommet, if you look, see this bulb side? That goes on the inside of the windshield. So the windshield's gonna sit like this. It's gonna face the cab. You're just gonna take it and press it on. And just like that, it's done. As you can see, my bulb is in the back. Now, before I can put this on the Axia mounts, there's something you gotta do. I'm pulling the plastic back to show the hole here and get it ready to go. Now my plastic is still on there just to keep my fingerprints off. But before I can set these on the Axia mounts, you need to go ahead and set them up. So there is a rubber or a plastic type washer that goes on the mounts before you put the windshield. Then you'll put the windshield, and then there is a washer that's rubber on one side and metal on the other. Now obviously the rubber goes towards the windshield as not to scratch it up or mar it up, and then your thumb screws. So go ahead and put this on. I've already got the other mounts over there on. Slide it on. Now that I have the windshield on, these mounts still aren't tight. I can still adjust them. So I'm gonna slide this windshield all the way down on both sides to get a nice seal down here in the cowl before I tighten this up. Now that I have a nice tight fit all the way around, I'm gonna go ahead and just tighten these up a little bit. Once everything's nice and tight, go ahead and remove the rest of the plastic. And the last thing I need to do is clean up the Shineworks spray. Cleaned up, let's talk about first impressions. And I'm not gonna lie, I really like it. I was kind of unsure about it when I saw pictures. My biggest concern was these winglets right here, but they're really not as big as they looked in the pictures. And it looks mean. Aggressive would be a good word. I really like the shape of it. It follows the contours. I'm curious on how it drives. Most half windshields, as you know, they're straight across, and then they have like that duck bill, the flip up right here, which I don't care for distortion. So let me grab the other camera and let's see if there's any distortion looking through it. We'll take it for a drive and see, does it really flip the air up over my head? Does it create a visibility issue? So let's go ahead and do that right now. So let's talk distortion, because I know it's on a lot of people's minds. How bad is it? Well, honestly, it's pretty good. Looking at right here, there's really no distortion. And when I look over the passenger side, there's no distortion. Now this is the view I have for driving. There is some distortion in this windshield, but it's way off to the side where you're really not gonna look. Kind of down at the bottom where it curves. And there's a little bit right here in the center where it kind of flips out. So some of you might be wondering why I showed you a clip driving 60+ miles an hour with a hat on. Well, let me explain. I wanted to see how much airflow this windshield flips up over your head. Now my hat is pretty loose, honestly, but this windshield kicked the majority of the air all the way over my head. Now without the hat, I can feel it just at the top of my head. Now let me give you a reference here. I'm just over 6 foot tall. My Klockwerks has a folding seat base on it, so it raises my seat about an inch or so. So that should give you a little reference of how tall I am in here. And I didn't have any issue wearing a hat, so that's pretty neat, honestly. Another thing is, when you have a passenger that's on the shorter side, all the airflow will go over their head, and it makes the ride just that much more enjoyable. So let's get out and look at some of the styling of this thing. Standing out here in front of the Klockwerks, I think it looks really good. Like I said, at first, I wasn't quite sure on it, but honestly, it's grown on me quite a bit. Now here's your side view where you can see how everything flips up. But coming from the front, it doesn't look bad at all. And as you can see, looking through the steering wheel and all that, there is no distortion at all in there. Let's get this video wrapped up. Let's talk about my likes, my dislikes, and what I purchased one of these windshields. So let's talk about the likes. I like the windshield. I actually really like the windshield. And honestly, I didn't think I would like it as much as I do. It's a very unique styling. Aggressive is the word that Klockwerks said. And they nailed it dead on, honestly. I like the fact, you know, there's minimal distortion because you're constantly looking out here and here. And I didn't have any issues driving and notice the constant distortion like other windshields that are flat that have the little duck bill right there. That line seems to be always in my view. This was perfect. I like the fact that I can wear a hat if I choose to driving this down the road and it doesn't flip the hat off. Now, no, my hat wasn't cinched down. It was as I grabbed it off the shelf as I wear it if I were to wear it on a daily basis. But what I really like about the airflow going over my head is when my kids are in here, it's not gonna hit them in their helmet. And then when my wife is in here, the airflow isn't gonna hit and grab the visor of her helmet and it's kind of shake her head around. So it'll make the ride more comfortable for her. I mean, the KRX is already a really plush ride, but now not having the airflow hitting her in the face is a really nice feature. I like how easy it installs. I mean, it's a 15-minute install. These mounts are really nice. On, off in 2.5, 3 minutes. Easy maintenance, easy everything. There's really a lot of things to like about this. So now my dislikes, well, there really isn't anything. The only thing I'm not a real big fan of is these side pieces here. I don't know if they have anything to do with functionality. I'm gonna call the company, but that's about it. I mean, other than that, it's a really, really solid unit. Now, would I purchase one? You know, they sent me this one to test out. Yeah, I would. I've had a couple other brands out there. They tend to bend in the center when you're driving, which makes the distortion. This one, I didn't have any issues. The air flipped up over the head. I do like the smoke color over the tinted because I want to be able to see out my window. I think Klockwerks nailed this. So if you're interested, I mean, honestly, look into them. They're a little pricey, but for what you're getting, I think it's a great product. Hope you liked the video. I hope you learned something on the Klockwerks windshield. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Until next time.